this podcast go? Straight to hell.
Yeah.
Speaking of hell, check out East Coast Bowhunting Podcast.
Hunt, you live it, you breathe it, and it's exactly right. I live it, I breathe it. Where it is now, where it's insane.
Welcome back, y'all. This is the East Coast Bowhunting Podcast. We're here in Slayer Studio, hiding in Coventry, Connecticut, hiding in the mountains of God's heaven. We're bringing you episode 15, the bonus episode. And today's show is brought to you by Shabin Brewing.
Shabin.
Woolkick, Connecticut, the Hunter's Bear. Also brought to you by 100 Demons, East Coast hardcore music known worldwide. If you start listening to their music, your ears are going to bleed, your head's going to explode, and your head's going to spin. So be careful. You can find their merch at www.shopshogun.com. Also brought to you by Trev's Euros for all your Euro mount needs on Facebook. We're also here, brought to you by CT Bowhunting, Connecticut's #1 source for bow hunting, as well and presented by Nor'easter Game Calls. Get them in close. And you can find them at www.nor'eastergamecalls.com. And we're here with
Trev.
Ryan.
and I'm your boy D-Rock, and we're here to share, for new and old hunters, to share our experiences through the woods, through playing and slaying. What is up?
What is up, D-Rock?
What's up, brother? You got something to talk about, don't you?
Not quite yet. I just
quite
want
yet? All right.
to. I want to kind of recap on
exciting.
the past week. Yeah. Good times.
You want to eat?
It's a good day. We threw a bonus in there for a reason.
Yeah. We changed the intro a little bit. That sounds a lot better. I like it. I'm content with it.
Yeah,
It's
let us
pretty
know.
cool.
Let us know your feedback on
It-
it. Let's hear it from our listeners. What do you guys think on it?
I think
Let
it's
us know.
funny as hell, actually.
Yeah, it's good.
It's awesome.
We love it.
It's great.
Yeah, today's a good day though overall.
There's just a lot of positives going on.
Yeah.
know?
You need it this time of year. I'm looking forward to our next episode too, coming up. Episode 16.
Yeah, couple
Yeah,
days.
Chris. We got Chris Brockett,
Oh, a little
Connecticut taxidermist.
nice little taxidermy session.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Chris is a good dude.
And he does great work.
Yeah,
His work
he's known.
speaks for
Whitetail.
itself.
There's nobody better than him in Connecticut.
I wonder-
Whitetail, he's the man.
Yo, Ryan, I wonder if him and Chris are gonna bro crush.
They always do. These guys talk for hours on the phone. More than Trevor and Mark talk. Chris and Trevor talk all day
Really?
long, bro.
It'll be interesting.
It'll be 2:00 in the morning. We're skinning heads in Trevor's deer shed here, and he's still talking to Chris at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. They're just talking,
Yeah.
both doing
When
taxidermy.
you live that life, it's different, man. Like the late nights and all that's huge. That's where I get everything done.
That's
Like
where you
I
get your
start
best
at
work.
8-9 o'clock at night, and I'm done at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I mean, when you get a good load of heads, 15, 20 heads, I mean, you just got to do what you got to do, and you get stressed out about it because if it's not cut and it's not done, then it's just never gonna get done. So you just gotta grind and do it. It sucks. Skinning heads sucks.
Some weird ass Mexican just added one more to the list.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he did.
But we'll get back to that.
Icebreaker.
We'll get back to it. Let's just recap on the past week since our last episode. This way, I mean, we had Thanksgiving this week. It was a very, very busy week. Even Saturday, you and I, Trev, we hit the woods real quick. Ryan the porn star to my left right now, he was busy getting it on, doing his deed. He doesn't work 12-hour shifts. He works 24/7 on call. So all you ladies out there, if you need a little assistance with your cable, quote-unquote cable adjustment,
The cable guy.
call the cable guy. Ryan the
and
porn star.
Well, me and Ryan got out. We had a pretty good time. Was that Monday, right?
Oh yeah, we had a deer watching us get dressed.
Get dressed.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. So we pull up.
Did that deer know that Ryan
He
does
saw
what he
him
does?
hanging. You know what I'm saying?
He probably
yeah.
watched that one run and rump, right?
No, well, check this. Oh, we definitely watched that. I'm sure. Well, so we got in there real early. What was it, like 10:30? Probably we got in there 10:30 in the morning. We were gonna sit all day long. We did a morning duck hunt, I think, that day.
Yeah.
So we were getting a little late. We get there and it was time for my morning dump. I go out and I do my thing and I come back and Trev's like, dude, there's a deer watching us right now. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, no, I'm being serious. Look over, about 100 yards away, there's just a doe standing right there. So
No kidding.
and
That's crazy.
And as
Yeah,
we
it was-
go in, that same doe, me and Trevor aren't paying attention. She's standing about 20 yards from us in the trail, but she didn't move until we're about 20 yards from us. We
Oh, she
definitely
was
did-
gonna get it.
If
I
we
was
were-
giving it to her
If
right
we were
then and
paying
there.
attention, she would have. We would have gotten her, and that was on the way in. But yeah, no. Yeah, it wasn't a bad time.
Cool.
It wasn't a bad time. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
That's cool.
and then
And then we recorded later that night, right?
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
But I don't think we really even talked about
No,
the
we
hunt
didn't.
and the deer that we saw. So
No.
I had
Yeah, let's touch base. How you guys showed up to the studio kind of tipsy, and we had to wait before
Oh,
we
yeah,
recorded.
we
that's
did,
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
joking.
well, we stopped at the hunting lodge at hunting camp, and there was a couple guys there because one of our landowner's son got a nice 8-pointer.
Yeah, it was his first 8-pointer.
Yeah, it was his
Congratulations
first
to him,
8-pointer.
yeah.
By bow or gun?
Oh, I was gone.
Right.
The family.
So boo-foo to you, but congratulations.
That's
on your
all right.
first date.
No, that's
Yeah.
okay.
It's cool.
Well, yeah,
it's
it's cool.
exciting.
Yeah.
But the family like they work them up like they do to us, you know, with the property and everything. Like they're all right. You can shoot a nice 4-pointer, then a 6-pointer, then an 8-pointer. You have to graduate and you have to put your time in and what deer you can shoot. So these guys will have to pass good deer, you know, just to teach them the way that it is, you know. And that's one of their things. Like with us. They'll be like, oh, you know, this area, this area, this area.
little
and
bit
they'll
at
say,
a
go
time.
here, piece.
Right,
and we'll
right.
find something, and they'll go, oh yeah, there's a
Yeah.
stand here.
It's a good way to show.
It's really cool. They give us a little bit of information and we go on it. We tell them about it and they go, "Yup, if you go just a little bit further, we actually got to stand right there." So
Right.
they kind of give us a little tidbit, let us learn on our own, and then they go, "Yup, this is what's going on."
It's
So,
how the old school
it's cool.
teaches you appreciation. So for you new guys out there, don't get frustrated.
No.
I mean, people are giving you bits and pieces from what they feel. I mean, they could be totally wrong, but they're giving you a little piece of information what they feel will help you along the way.
Or
So
not even
this
that,
way-
but just what you can handle.
Exactly.
You know?
This way you show appreciation for even going out to the woods. I don't know how many countless times since September 15th to today, how many times we went in the woods and didn't even see dick. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like you go out there, sometimes you don't see anything.
Nothing.
And that's whitetail, though. That's whitetail. It is one of the hardest hunts out there.
That's what keeps you sitting in your stand all day long, every day.
Yeah, I mean, in this whole thing, like we just been putting in all this a crazy amounts of time, and like, it's not the lack of seeing deer. I mean, I see deer almost every single time that I
Well,
go
now,
out.
Every
now
time.
more than ever, yeah.
You know, and you know, you see 5-6 deer, this, that, and the other thing, and they're just not close, no shot. They're just, you know, they move through too quick, whatever the case may be.
Too
but
windy for a somewhat further shot.
yeah, it's just tough, and you know, seeing these deer like on Monday, man, I seen like 4 or 5. Excuse me, holy.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
Shabine.
Sorry.
Does that count as cracking up? Shabine. He burped Shabine. Does that count as cracking it?
Yeah, exactly. Shabine. So no, so I saw the deer. We jumped. The one was in the field. Then we jumped one as we were going in. May or may not have been
probably
the
the
same
same
one.
one, but-
Then when I was in stand, I had one behind me. Probably 70, 80 yards on the other ridge. Then when I got out, I jumped another one going out. And then when I was almost back to the truck, there was another one that was in the field and ran across right in front of me. I was like 20 yards from it. It was dark at that time. You don't see nothing. I just see like the shadow going across the snow-lit field. So, I mean, that was pretty freaking cool. So we got to see a ton of deer there. And then me and you got out on Saturday.
And we saw 12 that morning.
Yeah, we saw a lot of deer that day.
Pheasant hunters killed it that day.
Yeah.
Because I really thought it was going to happen that day. We
Right.
saw a lot. And what about the rest of the week? How did that go for you, Ryan?
Rest of the week, man. I
mean, leading up to, like, you know, Friendsgiving the night before or whatnot.
Friendsgiving. What did we?
No,
do
it was
with
me.
that thing?
I went to Friendsgiving on Saturday.
Oh yeah, no, that was Trev. But
Oh, that was true.
yeah,
Well, you don't
after
go
we
to
hunted-
anything like that? I mean, a lot of people do that
I ain't got a
nowadays.
lot of friends, bro.
What?
I keep a real small circle here.
Wow.
Small circle. And
I guess you always need a met-
Lucky for
He gets
you,
to hang
you
out
joined this. You
What?
joined
Oh,
my
lucky
tight
for
little
me.
circle.
Yeah, lucky for me. Lucky for me.
You got to get in the circle.
It's tight for now.
Thank you, Almighty.
Tight for now.
Porn star Ryan, for letting me in your... Wait. What kind of circle is this?
Yeah.
No. Why is shit spraying everywhere?
He said we don't have.
I don't like that kind of circle, friends, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'll chill in the dirty, man.
No.
I don't want
Yeah,
that
you
circle.
stay over in that dirty.
extra dirty.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I didn't get to hunt all that much. Since Trev's talking, Monday was the last time I hunted. Tomorrow I'll be out, of course, on my land. But
Oh yeah,
Just looking forward to it. Tomorrow's Sunday, so private land will be on. I'll be on my land tomorrow. Morning's supposed to rain. We'll see how the morning goes. Maybe
I thought
a
it moved
mid morning.
I thought it moved off till Monday.
No, I don't think so. No, there's some rain coming within the next hour or so. We got some rain. It's supposed to last all night and then go into the morning. So we'll see what happens.
But it's clearing up Sunday afternoon into Monday, so you'll be good Sunday afternoon hunt Monday.
Oh, okay. Because I thought
Trust me,
it was rain again on Monday.
he's 100 on it, man. Because I've been on the weather too.
Oh yeah, it's all.
I'm trying to get out there as much as possible.
Oh well, I don't. I looked at it this morning because I wanted to do it, so I don't.
Trev doesn't look at shit anymore. He's just on. It's
Yeah,
cruise control
I
right
just
now.
go.
When I wake up, I hunt. I go hunt, come back, eat. I go back, hunt, come back, sleep. I wake up, I hunt.
I skin some deer heads in between.
You start losing your days when all you do is hunt.
Yeah.
Right. Trev, we could sit the Ritz on tomorrow in the rain.
Maybe.
That would be the shit.
That would be sweet.
That would be the shit.
Whatever. We'll think about it.
Yeah, we'll think about it. We got
excited.
options, but yeah, no, haven't done too much hunting. But it's that time. A couple days off here, my weekends, Sundays and Mondays. So now it's time to hit it hard. So we'll have some more information for you on Monday.
Thanksgiving was good?
Thanksgiving was great, of course.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving was wonderful.
Good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy belated Thanksgiving,
was
everyone.
So happy, yeah.
It was so cold.
It's cold.
I mean, it was like I think a negative 25 wind chill.
Yeah.
With it was like 4 or 5 degrees out.
Real cold.
Yeah.
And it just, I personally didn't hunt.
Nope.
And that was the first Thanksgiving I've ever missed hunting.
Really?
Yeah,
Slipping,
that's been
bro.
a tradition since I was
bloopers.
Yeah, purposely
Slipping.
though, because I'm like, well, whatever. I'll go out on Friday. I'll go on whatever. It doesn't matter to me. But since I was 12 years old, that's the tradition is we hunt on Thanksgiving.
Right.
You know, it was bird hunting for a couple of years, and then it turned into deer hunting.
Us three weren't going to, but life slaps you directly in the face, and that life may be called Sandra, but.
Shout out.
You gotta shout out to you. But
reckless plug.
You just gotta please everyone, and that's so touchy in the hunting community that everyone can relate. That if you're lucky enough to have your partner as your life partner as your hunting partner, then you struck gold. And not that everyone else didn't strike gold, but it's very difficult to please everyone in your life.
It's
even
to
outside
time
of that
year, though. I mean, like
even outside of home, like with work.
Oh yeah.
You gotta keep everyone happy,
Well, the thing is that we hit it hard always consistently, and at the beginning of the season we hit it even harder. And now that it gets to the end of the season, your family, your loved ones, they're
all mad at you. They're all mad at you.
Sticking down on you.
Right.
It gets crazy. They're like, Trev, you did like 250 hours in the past month in the woods. Yeah, your point is.
Oh yeah, no,
I don't. You're not making a logical conversation with me right now.
We live in the woods. Works for us. Last Monday, Trev and I, we hunted all day. We grinded. We did duck hunt in the morning, then we grinded all day long. I heard about it. I heard all about it.
It happens, dude.
It happens. A few more weeks. We got about another month. So
the mysterious fucking friend, duck hunting friend. Yeah.
I got a good story for you. Talking about Monday, so I had a little bit of a rise bloopers on Monday.
We talked about this.
Did we talk about that?
Oh yeah, how you fell in on your face.
We did talk about that.
We didn't talk about that on the podcast.
Yeah,
yes, we did.
Yeah, we did.
We did?
100%.
Yeah.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
If we didn't, Ryan showed up to the field hungover and fell in the water face first.
I wasn't feeling good at all. Well, so I asked Trevor. The decoys were just all wrong. Ducks weren't seeing our decoys. So I went out there. I'm like, Trevor, how deep is it? He's like, oh no, it's pretty shallow. No problem. I go just face first. I dropped. My feet. It must have taken 5 seconds for my feet to actually hit the ground. I just went straight down and. Face first. Wasn't fun.
Yeah, it was priceless.
It was warmer than last year.
Gurgle.
Warmer than last year. And then after I'm already up walking back to the bank, Trevor goes, hey, you need help? Bro, I could have used your help as I was falling in the water when you told me it was shallow.
Yeah. All right. The inside joke. It's out. The rambling man.
So rambling man.
Yeah, what do you got? Yeah, that's me.
No, you know what? I love it though because you're always on fire and you're a mile a minute. So this way, it's like if you're not paying attention to the podcast, you're not gonna listen to what Ryan has got to say.
You're gonna miss out on everything that's perfect that you need to know in your life. Is that because Ryan pays fine attention to everything that goes on,
especially in the woods.
Oh, so like he gets so excited and so overworked, and he just starts going at it, and you're like, bro, rambling man, calm down.
Apparently that was an inside joke these two had, and I just got let in on. Is what it sounds like.
That was it. He's like, yo, I downloaded Rambling.
That's
Man. When
funny
he starts
shit.
talking, I'm gonna whack him with it.
That's funny shit. I like it. I like it.
Oh man, that was good.
Oh, what
But,
a positive day though.
So, well, D-Rock, what's up?
Well, I had a good Thanksgiving. You know, I snuck out in the woods late Thanksgiving morning. Actually, it was so cold. I decided to just do an armed scout. You know, bring my bow and just scout around for a little bit, kind of look at the deer tracks and whatnot, and just wanted to get the inside scoop. So Thursday, we were actually, the three of us were supposed to hook up and hunt, but again, we had to please everyone in our lives, and we just couldn't make it happen. We couldn't make it click. So we turned into Friday, and you know, that's my date night. You guys had your high school reunion, right?
Yes, we did. It was a good time. Yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys had a good time last night, and you guys enjoyed your night.
Well, we had a very nice night, and you know what? On that, it was so cool. These are people we haven't really seen in 10 years. Like, you know, we'll stumble into people in this small town here and there. We ran into people last night that we didn't even know knew about our podcast and tell them about all the podcasts. I want to give I want to give a shout out to Zach Hopkins right now.
That's a huge thing.
Zach's a great buddy of ours. We grew up with. He's not even a hunter, but he told us last night that he looks forward to every episode. He listens to every episode just for the entertainment, and he does learn stuff. He says we are knowledgeable. He learns stuff, and he just is entertained by it. So he listens to it even as a non-hunter. He doesn't even. It's awesome. So shout out to you, Zach. Thank you for being a great listener.
Yeah, and all of our friends that we went to at high school that support us in East Coast Bowhunting Podcast. I mean, it's a huge thing. I didn't even realize it. And one thing that Zach said to me that brought some serious light to it, and it kind of pays off, is that he goes, "You guys were knowledgeable and good at what you did when growing up. So to hear you guys talk about it day in and day out is just a bonus to me, and I really enjoy it and listening to it. So it's kind of cool. And you know, going to different parties and just some of my close friends or family, and I bet you all can relate to it, and be like, oh, awesome podcast, this, that, and the other thing. So it makes it kind of ticks the clock, you know, and it's awesome that way.
Well, I don't let my family listen to this, Trev.
Somebody knows something.
Bullshit. One of your family members told or maybe just a DJ at your
that was
party,
DJ. Yeah, family friend.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Close enough.
Yeah.
But
that's crazy. So yeah, you guys enjoyed your Friday night.
Yep.
You guys, you know, shout out to.
I don't remember much of it.
I could tell because I'm actually, you know, we hook up because we decided to go hunting today.
That's cute.
And
had breakfast together.
Yeah, we had breakfast together. It was
Where'd you guys go?
We actually
Thread City.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
it was good.
Solid.
Yeah, a lot of food, but that was like a good start because my dumbass slept through my alarm clock, so I had a good time last night too. And as soon as I wake up, I'm on the, doing the deed on my throne, and the normal morning deed. and Trev hits me up by text. He's like, "Hey, you get in? Are you up here?" Because the original plans was, go to our honey hole spot. I'd be up there in the morning while you recuperate from the night before, and then we'll hook up and catch breakfast. So obviously plans don't always work out. So we went straight to breakfast because we both missed our morning hunt. And we're going over, our hunting. What hunting app do we use?
I use a couple different ones. My big one is Hunt Stand, but I'm starting to get into that where to hunt.
Yeah, where to hunt.
I'm just kind of starting to figure it out and messing around with it.
Yeah.
But my big thing's Hunt Stand.
Yeah,
so
I've been
regularly.
messing with the where to hunt. It's
OnX is another one.
Yeah, that's really good.
Sometimes I mess around. I paid for the premium editions of both of them, but they actually work out. You know what I'm saying?
Hunt Stand is my favorite. I've been using Hunt Stand since it came out, and I know we've talked about it in previous episodes, but it is just awesome. You plot it all out as you're walking through the woods. You find things. When you're done, you zoom out on that map and you go, "That's awesome." You can just see everything.
Well, now that we found the friend locader thing, that's a huge thing
right.
too. As far as the safety thing.
Well, Trev, talk about that a little bit. That's a. I wasn't rambling on here. Come on. I think Trev's been talking a little more than I have.
No, I don't know. I like the new
I like
sound
it. I like it. Well, Trev, why don't you talk about that? Another upside of the Hunt Stand app, the friend locator.
The friend locator that's just huge, and like you're like, oh yeah, if they leave it on and you're like, yo asshole, why are you in my tree stand? But you can see where all your friends are. If something was ever to go wrong and something was to happen, at least you know where you are. And I don't have mine on all the time, just when I'm in the woods with somebody that I'm friends with on.
Right. You don't want to be friends with the wrong people that are going to know where your stands are, though. Be careful with that.
Bing. Oh, you have the Irish, the exploding Irish.
That shit is banging.
Yeah.
Oh, it's wonderful.
So we recouped. We went straight to breakfast. We talked about our game plan going into the timber through our hunting apps, and it's nice because you can share friends. So this way, you know exactly where you guys are standing, or sitting.
Yeah.
When you're in the timber.
Well, I was thinking about doing a bow only, a public land hunt today. I had a couple different ideas of some field places and stuff.
And what did the Mexican say?
He said, "Nah, bro, we're going to the one of my privates in town.
Yeah.
My hunting hole.
Because we originally hunted that and we didn't see anything.
No, but there was good sign. You saw
A lot
one late.
of good sign. Yeah.
You saw one late, and that was right after the snow, so we had seen a couple.
And then we almost
he's
hit
like,
the same deer on the way out.
Exactly. And
in
he's
your
like,
car.
oh no, but
I'm like,
let's
pull
just
over,
go to
pull
the
over.
private.
I'm like, pull over to the bulls on the back. Trevor's like, no, Mexican.
This doesn't work like this.
I'm joking, by the way, obviously.
No,
But
it's
yeah.
not. No.
Well, no, I wasn't about the initial intention, like how I was thinking. But action is different than thinking.
Yeah,
So
just being funny. But no,
yeah,
he was
we were
like, "Yo,
going-
let's go to your private that you brought me to over next to your house." And I was like, "All right, cool, let's do that." So I was like, "You know what, D-Rock, why don't you get into my spot where my little food plot was originally near the bedding ground, and go over there and do your thing, and then we can, that's a good spot for you to be." So do you want me to tell them a little bit? Or, like, what do you want to tell?
Actually, I want to do my perspective going in, and then we'll switch back to you because it was really cool how it ended up. Because talk about Trev's bloopers.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Oh, yeah.
As
I forgot about that.
Yeah. As soon as Trev dropped me off, we have a really good entryway, and Trev has another way getting on top of the ridge too. So we kind of like we play the pinch point. Trev's on the ridge, and I'm down at the bottom of the funnel at the bottom of the pinch point. So I'm walking in, he drops me off, I got all my stuff, he opens the door, gives me pound, says shoot straight. I'm like, you too, brother. So we go on. It's our usual normal thing that all of us do. It's kind of a ritual, so to speak. Shout out to Elite. And it's just, you guys both shoot Elites with HHAs.
Yes, sir. Of course you do.
So, I mean, you guys are on the right team. Me, I'm Mexican. I'm working up to that. Hopefully, Santa will be good to me. But anyways, going into the entryway, Trev's bloopers. I'm like right at the bridge line of the woods, right at the border. And you know how a Mexican gets a little nervous right at the border of anything. Right at the border of anything. You get the shakes. So I look to just double check I have everything. And what am I missing? My freaking release.
No, come on.
Because I usually keep it right on my bow, so
Right.
it's right there. And it was off my release. I'm like, what the fuck? So right away I put my shit down, and right away I called Trev. I'm like, yo, Trev. And then for some reason it wasn't going through. Like, you could hear me. It was coming
And
in
I
and
thought
out.
something, like, happened. I'm like, what the
Something
is
did
going
happen.
on?
I didn't have my release.
Yeah, like, I thought, like, you shot a deer, or the cop showed up, or I don't know.
Border Patrol. But
Yeah,
no, it
Border
was none of
Patrol.
that. It was none of that. So I
NCIS.
backtrack, and I find my release. I'm like, oh.
Oh, so you
I'm like,
dropped it.
Yeah, I dropped on the way in.
Yeah.
So that's something for the new guys out there. Just be cautious and don't do what you might come accustomed to. Do it the safer way. Keep everything in your pack in order how you would, pull it out of your pack once you're up in the tree.
Yep, stay organized.
Yep, that's a good pre-prep to do. But anyways, don't be a dumbass Mexican and commit Trev's bloopers. See, I've been hanging with Trev so much, and now I'm bleeding into the Trev's bloopers.
I don't even have any bloopers. You two have the bloopers. It's Trev's friends bloopers now.
Yeah. So, long story short, I get into the timber, and, I'm always a ninja, and I'm very quiet going in and doing, the heel toe, because the leaves aren't as crunchy, thankfully, because all that ice and cold weather kind of soaked the leaves again.
Yep.
So it's a little quieter in the woods. I'm going in, and I make a clank noise because I had to jump on a rock, and it was a clank from one of my clips onto my stand on my back because I rock a lone wolf climber, back down like a backpack, and I hear ch-ch. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, that didn't sound like a squirrel, because squirrel would be like ch-ch-ch-ch, and then a stop. Like, quick rustle and a stop. That's a squirrel. A couple steps and a stop. That's almost always, if not a squirrel, it's either a deer, possible turkey, or something like that. Actually, turkeys are even noisier.
Turkeys make a ton of noise.
Hell
man.
yeah. So
Scraping.
I keep on moving some more. I'm like, I don't see it, so I'll keep on moving. Got to get to the stand. And again, I'm like, oh shit, a gallop. Like, that's definitely deer. I'm like, where is it? I look up. I'm like, oh shit, they're right there. They busted me, and I didn't even know that they busted me at first. But they were locked. We locked eyes and everything. Sort of like how Ryan walks in and locks eyes with his buffer. Like, yeah, it's business. We got to get to it.
His fluffer?
Buffer? No, he said buffer.
Yeah, he did.
Well, he gets the buffer first and then the fluffer. You know, they're all waiting in line.
I thought the buffer was after you.
Yeah. So, anyways, I bumped them out. They go up on the top of the ridge towards Trev. So I get to my tree. I didn't run to it. I continued my own pace and got to the tree. As soon as I get all geared up and set my climber, I text Trev real quick. Yo, I bumped 2 deer up towards the ridge. They're coming your way. Just to give him a heads up. And he didn't text anything. So I climbed to the top of my tree, set up, get everything organized, got my backpack on the hanger, my bow is all set up. I didn't even knock it at the time. I got my tree stand harness and I sit down and I look. I just relax. And then I hear back from Trev. He's like, oh, word, you're in the tree. And that was it. I'm like, okay.
I have to hike like a mile up a mountain. So, like, it's a steep mountain.
Just a
so
response.
I'm like, yeah.
So, right away, I turn on my hunt stand app and do the friend locator, and I see exactly where he is. I'm like, all right, he's not even at the tree yet, at his tree stand yet. So, I'm just chilling there. I'm looking around, taking a breather. I go to pick, I'm messing, on social media, of course. Guilty as charged. Went out to IG, Facebook, all of them. Twitter, Snapchat. Because our East Coast page that we got going on there, it's actually pretty funny. There's a lot of ball busting going on in there, but it's all good fun.
That's the little page. But we have the actual page on Snapchat, but we have our actual Snapchat.
If you guys are Hoyt shooters, or if you guys are Hoyt shooters,
Matthews.
If you guys are Matthews shooters, you're not gonna
I
like.
feel sorry if you shoot for Matthews.
I feel sorry if you shoot Hoyts too, but my bad. That's just my personal preference.
Yo, what is
Mine
up?
too.
Not to get sidetracked, but what is up with everyone trying to get rid of their triax, yo?
I don't know.
What is up with that? I don't get it.
No. They should have bought an Elite.
Yeah, you only make that mistake
it's not
once.
the ritual.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, this ain't the ritual.
No,
What the fuck? They throw it on the trash. Throw it on the ground. I'm like, I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going on archery for someone getting played.
Yep.
So anyways, back to the story. I'm relaxing, fiddling with my phone. And I'm like, you know what? Now,
Yo, mind you, it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
it just turned 1. It
was
just
like,
turned 1.
I thought it was like 1:09 maybe.
Not even, yo. You know what?
Pretty close to 1 o'clock. We get the point.
No,
Let me get your phone with that rambling man going on here. You're really fucking rambling on.
I'm not rambling, actually. I'm just curious exactly. Oh, yeah. Hashtag pussy whip. Yep. So, anyways, yeah, it was 1. It just turned 1. Not even.
Yeah.
It was like quarter of. And I go grab my Nor'easter game call as I have my phone in the other. And I hear like a lot of running. I'm like, oh shit. I look to my right, coming right off the ridge, about 100 yards when I first spotted it. Starts running down. I'm like, oh shit.
Must have smelled
look at
that estrus you put out or something.
I did lay down a lot of estrus, actually. I did.
Was that
In my
Nor'easter
mock
scent?
scrape.
There was a mock scrape. I swear to God, I thought it was a real one. No, I swear it looked real. Trey
Right.
did a good job with it.
Did you use your Nor'easter scents and you freshen it up and?
Yep,
get a little
I
estrus
used my
out there?
trail maker going in.
Yep, wonderful. I love that stuff.
I used my trail maker going in, and when I got to the spot, I saw the mock scrape. I'm like, oh, I'm definitely spraying that estrus right there, and I just doused it in the mock scrape, and it was in a little food plot. I could tell this, this
old.
tread spot. So yeah, it was old. And
How's
I'm
that
like,
food
okay.
plot doing?
There's just seed everywhere.
Yeah.
It is seed now. It is seed.
It's all
But
dead
I
now,
did see some turkey digs in there too, though.
I'd imagine.
So,
Yeah.
but anyways, loaded up the place with estrus, and long story, getting back to the story, I see this buck coming down, and at first I didn't even know it was a buck, and wait till the end of the story. It's like, oh, you shot a buck? No. You shot a spike? No. Like, we'll get to that. So I'm thinking it's a doe coming down. I'm like, oh shit, look how big that motherfucker is. Like, it's a good size. Like, ain't no trophy winner, but it's definitely good meat, and I need to get blood on the ground. I'm like, I don't see spots in this good size. I'm like, I'm getting ready. So I'm just like in awe because I'm not expecting. I just got into a tree, just texted you saying I'm in here. This is where I'm at. And then all of a sudden he comes down 60 yards. Same, he's crossing the ridge towards my left, 80 yards away. 100 yards, 80 yards. He comes in 60 yards and then beeline straight to my fucking tree. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, because
I
where
have-
you are is like it's
the main
yo,
It's
run.
a funnel.
You're in
it's
the
a funnel.
well,
Yeah.
you're in the pinch of the pinch.
Yeah.
I mean, you're literally those deer will literally walk underneath you.
Yeah, that's their route.
Like you
That's
have
their
to be
route.
up, like because one
Bro.
side's all like shale rocks.
Bro,
I mean, it's
what saved me, let me get back to it, because what saved me is he beelines right, or at the point, I'm thinking she beelines right towards me. And you know, I didn't have binocs, so I couldn't, 100% distinguish what it was. I'm thinking, doe, beelines right towards me. And what saved me is that mock scrape with the douse estrus, because it did like a pit stop there. And I looked down and my bow's not even knocked. I have my phone out still in my left hand, the nor'easter grunt call on my right hand. I'm like, oh shit. So I dropped my grunt call because it's around my neck, on a string and shit on the holder. And I fiddle with my jacket to get my phone away, and my bow isn't even knocked. Or the arrow's not even knocked into my bow. So I pick up my bow. It's in between my legs because I have a little... What's nice about the Lone Wolf Assault fucking climber? It's got that little notch for your...
Yeah, they got built-in hanger or holders, right?
well, no, it's like a cross.
Right.
So you just put the cam in it.
It's
actually
meant
pretty
it's
cool.
meant for a gun stand or a crossbow stand, but it actually fits my cam of my bow perfectly in there, and it's got rubber grommet so it doesn't damage anything, and it just sits there. Like, I can let go of it, and it doesn't move. But anyways, so I pick it out in between my legs, all one motion. I stand up, pick it up, all one motion, draw the arrow out of the quiver, knock it. And what saved me is that fucking mock scrape with the douse estrus, because he went from straight beeline to where I went around the circle with the estrus.
Mm-hmm.
So he followed the estrus, and he's now 20 yards away and starts moving towards my left. And there's enough trees that as I went to full draw, he was behind a few trees, so it gave me some like kind of cover.
Yeah.
And I went, bah! Didn't even move because he's fixated on the estrus. I'm like,
Oh, yeah, he didn't care.
like really loud. Still didn't fucking move. I'm like, here it is. And let go. All you hear him do is, bah! And he just took off, did the mule kick, and just took off. He like ran in a banana hook over the ridge about 40 yards, and I heard him and then just stopped. I didn't hear him crash, and he just stopped moving.
Right.
Well, she. At the time, I'm thinking
Yeah,
doe.
doe, right.
At the time, I'm thinking
Because that's
doe.
what you texted me.
That's when I texted you. I just texted you that it got in the stand. And then, no lie, it must have been like not even 10 minutes later. I'm like, I just shot a doe. It was definitely a kill shot. Hit me back when you get this text.
Right, and so then I called you right away. Oh, shit.
Lord, I was born a rambling man.
Oh, you're just going to sing it now?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, D-Rock's still going on over here about this fucking story.
Well, that's the bonus episode, though. That's the bonus episode is this,
I had to
right?
throw it at you, too. I had to throw it at you.
Nah, it's all good. It's all
so-
good. While you're at work, we were playing and slaying.
Yeah.
But finally on the board, word?
That's it.
Finally on the
brother.
board.
That's it.
So he calls up, and I'm like, D-Rock, so what's up? What happened? What's good? He's like, I shot it like 20 minutes ago. I shot it. Good kill shot. I'm like, all right. I said, you sure? Yeah. How far was it? 20 yards. All right. I said, all right. I said,
What were you thinking when you read my text first, though?
I don't even know.
Because you got to your stand. Obviously, you didn't see my text, so you got to your...
Right, and I'm about to climb up, and I'm like, I just have it all hooked up, and I just happen to look at my phone, because normally I put it in my backpack, and I look at it, and he's like, just shot a doe. I'm like, oh, shit. All right, fuck it. I'll call him. So I call you up, and you're like, oh, yeah, 20 yards, kill shot. I'm like, how do you know it's a kill shot? You're like, yeah. I go, all right, well, I'm going to work down the ridge, and I'm going to come right down to you. He's like, well, you going to go down the car and come over? I'm like, no, I'm going to come down. It's easier for me to come that way. So I went down, I got my climber.
And I even told you, I'm going to get down too as soon as I see you. And you're like,
Right.
no, just stay in your tree so we can replay the kill. I'm like, you know what? That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
And I hear Trev coming down the ridge. I swear
Of
to God.
course you hear him coming down the ridge.
Yeah, you know where I'm getting at.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Ryan, you're an experienced hunter.
Yes,
and,
sir.
And I'm experienced enough and got in the woods enough that I know what a bear sounds like in the woods.
Right.
I actually know where one lives in my patch of land.
And you know what Trevor sounds like coming through the woods?
Identical, yo. Identical.
He's got his own sound. Coming through
Right,
the
so
woods.
continue, Travis. So you're coming down the ridge. Just to let you know, even though our hunt stand app lets us know where we're at,
Right.
I was doing, some doe bleats just to give you a better direction so you don't have to keep on checking your
Well, I
phone.
knew where you were. You were in my fucking tree.
Right. Exactly.
I know that woods like the back of my hand. But so I came down the ridge or whatever, and D-Rock's in the tree. He's fucking waving to me like a little kid. I'm like, all right, yeah, I know you're there in the tree. I can fucking see you, dude.
I was pumped.
Yeah,
was
I know,
pumped.
absolutely. And and the reason I had you stay in the tree was so that I could walk out to where you took your shot, and I can now scope the area, and you say, okay, yeah, that's where I shot at, so that you know, and you made that landmark, and then I know, and I look down, and it's just fucking blood.
So for the newbies, when you
Everywhere.
make a shot for the newbies, what should they do initially? Because you get a lot of adrenaline pumping, your heart is going.
The biggest thing is to mark your
Remember-
spot.
yeah,
Mark
remember
your
where
spot.
you
You're
shot.
like a lab on a duck. Just mark your spot. You know,
Right.
you want to look. You're gonna say, all right, that oak tree in between that ash tree, or by that mountain laurel. Or
Even
there's
take
that
a
rock,
snapshot
there's
of
that-
it, right?
Whatever.
Take a photo?
I mean, anything.
Whatever helps you
just so that you know, so that when somebody comes to help you, you can say, yes, the deer was standing right there. I shot right there, so that you know within the perimeters of where it was.
Right.
And so it's
So
a
you
good
come,
thing.
you see me waving like a little kid. Hey,
Yeah, so I go out to where he says, and I was
Mexican
like,
is here up at the tree.
yeah, I fucking saw you. So I get out to where it was, and I look around, and there's just blood everywhere. I'm like, D-Rock, good hit. And I didn't even give him a second to get out of his fucking tree. I just beelined it, and I'm like,
Follow the
all
blood
right,
trail. Word.
look at the blood, because I wanted to see, like, there was no arrow, there was brown hair, so I knew it was good. There was some air in it, so I'm like, oh, it's lung, this, that, and the other thing. I knew. I went up over the ridge, I kept going, and I found the tail end of the arrow, and so then I keep going over the hill, and
You saw white and belly up.
well, yeah, but there was blood everywhere. I mean, on the sides of trees. I mean, it was just
Everywhere.
it fucking exploded. Chunks of lung. I mean, it was
raining
able-
blood, so to speak.
Oh, it was there,
raining
and it was
blood.
just like dispersed everywhere.
Now it's on your shirt too, Trev. You got blood
from the
spatter on your
Sawzall.
white shirt.
Yeah, that's for the aftermath.
Because we already corded the deer up.
Yeah, I
the deer's
saw that.
already.
Yeah.
So
Gone.
I'm climbing down. I'm halfway down. I'm like, you find it? You're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, all right, word. And so I'm climbing down, get down, and he's like, it's right over here. I'm like, you know what? Let me, as a new guy, this is only my second year hunting whitetail. It's my 7th one down, thankfully now. First one this year. It's like, that's whitetail hunting though. It's like I got spoiled my first year. I really did, and you know what? I didn't really have the grasp of full appreciation. Obviously, I appreciate anything that I hunt and harvest, but I didn't have the full grasp and appreciation to whitetail hunting, because whitetail hunting is something to be said is very different, and it's hit or miss. And the fact that I had to learn it the hardest way possible, it felt like.
Yeah.
It's like a ticking time bomb in your head. It could make or break a hunt or two, question your ability and everything. And just to get that little feeling back, boom. So I get down the tree. I'm like, hold on, Trev. Let me follow the bread trail. Where are the hands on Gretel? Yeah. So let me follow the blood trail. So this way I could experience it all the way through and learn how to track, because I already shot 2, lost 2 earlier this year. One's a fucking monster, and the other one I tracked for 500 yards and still came up empty.
And I'm glad that you were able to do that with me. Like, I just went over to see the white belly and see what kind of scenario that we were in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to know. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, are we going to have to do this? Are we going to have to back out? What's our next step? What's our next approach?
Nah, we were good.
No, and we were. It was fucking great. But, I mean, it was nice to do it and have you do it with me, because I've step by step through with you on the phone and stuff like that.
Right.
So to actually see it, and then I was like, all right, D-Rock, this is what I do.
This
I
is
get
our
to
first kill together, actually.
It was 100%
As East
that.
Coast.
Yeah, and
No shit.
And as I mean, obviously, me and Ryan have killed tons of deer together, but
Well, you guys grew up together.
Yeah, exactly.
That was
But
different.
I mean, us as a team here, and I mean, it sucks Ryan couldn't be there, because that would have been fucking great. That would have even been even better. But
Hell
that's
yeah.
gonna happen. We're gonna have
sooner than later.
monsters to be doing
we
that
still
shit
got
with.
over a full month. I mean,
Yeah.
if we hunt on private on 11 and 12, we got until
The end of
January
January.
31st.
Yeah.
Shit.
So
We're
I
good.
mean, it was nice to do that, and then to walk through with you and be like, all right, so I get to this. This is what I do. This is my step by step. This is how I get to my my final equation.
And then
here.
you just break out the live and you see me tracking. That was perfect.
You got
That's
to enjoy it. You know what I'm
perfect.
saying?
Yeah. Get
I-
the full effect. See all the blood everywhere. My eyes just kept on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like I'm stepping in blood. Then before you know it.
We can tell that he's a newbie because we get over the ridge and I can see the fucking deer from a mile away.
Well, you already scoped it out too.
Yeah, but I didn't go that far.
Right.
So I'm like, yo, D-Rock, it's right there. You're like, where? And you're
Yeah.
trying to find it, and I'm like, yo, it's right there. Look. And
Right.
you're like,
Yeah, I got psyched. It's
Of
like,
course.
oh shit.
and
Fuck
you
yeah.
should, bro.
Absolutely.
Right. And that's the differences in someone that's been hunting whitetail all their life and someone that just started. You know what I mean? That just comes with the
absolutely.
territory, and I was psyched. So we get up to it, it's a motherfucking bloodbath everywhere.
Oh, it was crazy. Those raptor tricks did something, and I've never shot with those raptor. Have you shot with those raptor
No,
tricks?
never shot him. No.
You shot deer with 2 blades though.
Oh yeah, I've shot 2 blades. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing with
Oh
those
yeah,
2
there's
blades.
blood
Hell
everywhere.
yeah.
I mean, I've shot, like I was telling you, I've shot the Rages. I've shot pretty much
Yeah,
any
the
2 blade that
Wasp,
there is. The
everything,
Watch
yeah.
jackknives, the Swackers, the you name it. I've shot them. But the raptor tricks, they're something else, dude.
Bro, and that's the funny part because last year I was very successful and I used the same setup I went in this year. You know, why change something if it ain't why fix it if it ain't broken?
Mm-hmm.
So because I shot 2, lost 2, I'm like, fuck that.
Something's broken.
Yeah,
Something's broken,
I gotta
fix
fix
it.
it.
Yep.
Yeah. And I switched it up. You know, I switched my whole arrow and my broadhead. And I remember I was in Walmart. Shout out to Walmart.
Again.
You know, again, yeah. I'm telling you, we're gonna get that spot.
Yo, I'm all about Walmart, man. I got
Hell
one
yeah.
right
Yo,
near
dude.
my house. I go there all the time.
Did you see the Thanksgiving? You guys watch football on Thanksgiving or
Of
no?
course.
Yeah.
Yo, Walmart was one of the sponsors.
Of
though.
course
they are.
They're on the rise.
What up,
Yo,
Walmart?
shout out Walmart.
Hit us up.
So I'm in Walmart. I hit up Kurt from Working Class Bowhunter, and I'm like, yo. I'm like, what broadheads are you using? You know, because I just had 2 experiences that I shot 2, lost 2. What are you using? He's like, oh, you can't go wrong with the Slick Trick Viper tricks. I'm like, oh, those shits are badass. I always thought about those. He's like, yeah, but get the 125 grains. I'm like, shit. I'm like, I'm in Connecticut. They don't have those at this Walmart. I'm like, and I needed to switch it up that night because
Right.
I'm going hunting next day. So I switched up some old school aluminum alloy game setters because, yo, I need to go with a heavier arrow.
Yeah.
I
You're
didn't
looking
have
for
my,
that
my
kinetic.
I didn't,
More penetration. You need more
yeah,
penetration.
right.
Yeah.
And I didn't have opportunities, you know, order off of Ethics Archery and get my inserts, weighted inserts, so this way make it heavier. I'm like, what about Raptor tricks? He's like, dude. He's like, Steve made me a believer last year with those Raptor tricks. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. Shout out to Steve. Also, Eric at Working Class. And Dougie Fresh, too. Is Steve, he goes, Steve made me a believer. He used the Raptor tricks last year, and he made bad shot, and it still killed the deer. I'm like, really? I'm like, this sounds like
That's
a
the thing
gimmick,
with the
but
two-blade.
coming from Kurt is like, you know, that's the real deal. He's like, I shot those all last year. I'm like, really? I'm like, all right, word. Because I needed something different, something more durable that won't break
Right.
on a shoulder hit or whatnot.
I'm
Because
telling
that's
you
what screwed me.
The thing that made me a believer about 2 blade is honestly when you shoot one with a 3 or 4 blade, it makes a hole, right? So it cuts 3 to 4 triangles, okay, depending on your 3 or 4 blade. And what happens is that it'll actually fill up, and you'll lose your blood trails, or if a deer lays down or you get a bad hit on them. With the 2 blade, when that cuts, it's like cutting it with a knife, and every time that they pull, the skin gets tighter and tighter, and it just rips and rips and rips. I've shot them piss poor shots, and the guts are hanging out. The only thing they're just barely holding on by a thread, and it's just gaping holes, you know. And it just decimates whitetails.
And these Raptor tricks, I mean, that's what I use. And the combination and the setup, and of course,
What's
I
that,
shot
like 2 inch? Is that 2 inch on
2 inch
contact?
spread, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
2 inch wound,
Yep.
so to speak.
2-inch cut. I believe is the term.
Yeah,
you're
the
looking
cut.
for.
2 inch
Cut.
cut.
I'm a
And I went heavier on the arrow. I mean, granted, aluminum. The only downfall of aluminum, it doesn't shoot fast. It doesn't shoot. I guess the plane of shot, it has more of an arch, but it's so quiet though.
So you're shooting aluminum arrows right now. You shot a deer
Right.
with that aluminum arrow?
Oh, yeah.
Yep, a game setter.
They're pretty
That's
cool.
11.7 GPIs, and
That's
then I had
awesome.
100 grain Raptor tricks, and with my Jimmy Crack Mexican Browning Mirage bow. You know, what I mean? But that's already got 6 deer under its belt.
That's
because
it,
my
bro.
first deer ever was a crossbow. But the next
You
7
don't have
was
to talk
that.
about that. It's okay.
Well, I mean, it's still archery, and I don't knock it at all. It's definitely a good transition archery component from a rifle hunter to going into archery.
You know-
but the only downfall is you can't submit it to Pope and Young.
Good.
Well, no, yeah.
Shabane. See, I'm a little sour on it, and the only reason and nothing against the crossbow hunters. I mean, it is what it is.
But why are you sour? I mean, we use our guns during certain seasons and shit.
Bro, it's been years.
I don't deer hunt
telling
with a
you.
gun.
Yeah, I don't.
But turkey.
I duck
don't
hunt, turkey
don't say
hunt. Oh,
that.
absolutely.
Don't say it because I'm the only one out
I
of us three
definitely-
that bow hunted this past year turkey, right?
No, I bow hunted.
No, we bow hunted.
During spring season.
Oh,
absolutely.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no
Oh
shit.
no, but when it gets
We
going
love-
and we're
okay.
running and gunning
We
in
do
late
love
season, we fucking jelly
We
heads.
do
you guys-
love to shoot birds with guns. I'll be honest, but deer,
Yeah.
big game, this bow, come turkey and ducks and geese. We love to shoot them in the face. So
Yeah, jelly and heads, man.
Jelly
That's-
heads.
You guys get any turkey this year with the bow or no?
I missed
Creaky,
one. I hunted
creaky.
with one.
Are those crickets?
I
hear crickets
took one. I took one a couple months back, about a month or so ago. I shot one.
Oh, really?
And
fall.
I had a yeah, it was fall. I had a whole flock come in. There must have been 30 of them, and I hate shooting at turkeys because I got them in my yard all the time. And when it's the season, I'll go out there with my bow and I'll shoot at them.
Yeah.
And I ain't killed one yet at my yard, and I must have shot at them 10 times. So these things come down, and they're all in front of me, right at the bottom of my ladder stand, right there. I'm like, screw it, I'm going to shoot one. So somehow, all these turkeys sitting right there, they let me get up, get my bow, shoot one, and I put it right in her chest. Trevor and I do 3D shoots all the time. I know where to shoot a turkey, but she looking right at me, and I just stopped one right in her chest. All of a sudden, she just walks off like nothing happened, but then she lays down. I'm like, oh, sweet. She's dead.
Right.
And nope, she gets up. And just keeps going with the flock. I'm like, what the hell? So yeah, no, I like to shoot him in the face.
I mean, the ghost hunter, he shot one on film this spring. Oh. Don't even.
Your story went on. Your
gonna-
story went on
That's-
forever.
Well, that's the episode. I'm sorry. Once you kill a deer again, well,
I'm
then
sorry.
you
Is this
can ramble.
D-Rock? Is this
Yeah.
D-Rock's episode?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I'm gonna have you sit on the antlers of the one I shoot. How's that?
I'm not filming
Hey,
with you,
no,
bro.
hang on.
I'm not filming with you,
Let's
bro.
take a step back. You never actually talked about your deer once you got it. Once you got
Yeah.
up.
Well, I
Well,
was
about
letting
the
you guys
antlers and
ramble.
stuff.
I was letting you guys.
We
That's
weren't
well,
even.
yeah,
you
we're-
asked questions,
Bro, why do you think I was doing the rambling, man? I was coming out
All
again.
right.
See?
So talk
Yeah.
about it already.
So I show up to the bloodbath, and Trev's like, "Oh shit, it's a button buck." I'm like, "Oh, I don't think it is." And we look closer. You're like, "Oh shit, the antlers are broken."
Yeah, like snapped off.
This little nigga was this dude was a scrapper.
Yeah,
Straight up
scrap.
scrap.
Apparently, but he
Both
wasn't good at
antlers.
it.
Both, yeah, I know, right? Broke both antlers. So we don't know if it was a spike, a fork, a small six, because the base of the antlers was big enough to be any one of those. Mm-hmm. So all we know is a big buck.
Something bigger.
Well, bigger buck. Definitely no more than 2.5 years old, though.
What, your deer?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the 2.5-year-old
Yeah.
range. Who
'Cause it
knows?
was a
I mean,
big
it could
boy,
have been.
but-
It could have been anything. I don't know.
Nah, it looked too.
It could have
pristine.
broken
There
on
was
a tree. Or,
you know what?
don't know.
Actually,
Looked
it's
too
funny.
pristine.
It's funny is that there was a deer I have on camera, and I hope it's not him, because it's a little 6-pointer.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
I bet you it was him.
I had him in velvet.
Yep.
I bet,
I
you it was
bet
him.
you any money that was him.
Yeah, I bet you
Which
too.
which is whatever. It is what it is.
Well, you can go
know
shed
what I'm
hunting and
saying?
find. You can find those horns. Like I found that one a couple years ago. The one that broke off of mine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a,
found it.
whatever. It's cool, dude. There's a dead deer
So
on the
we-
ground. It's
yeah.
not that, but
Meat
I'm
in
just
the freezer.
saying is that it happens. You know what I'm saying? Is that
Do it?
nah? Get outta here.
Rambling, man.
No, but I think it's cool. It could have been anything. Could have been a spike horn. Could have been a fork horn. Could have been a 6. It could have been
Yeah.
anything. You know. It was a
Nothing
nice
more than a
body
6,
deer, though. I'll tell you what. It was definitely a good deer.
Delicious too.
And it was loaded with fat, right?
I
Was
know
it?
that.
Interesting.
That's,
I mean, loaded.
Interesting.
yeah.
Loaded. Thick.
That means our winter's
Really?
gonna suck.
Yeah, but not even that. But if there's no acorns, where's he getting this?
Right.
I mean,
Usually they
he's
get the fat
loaded up.
layers. Usually they get the fat layers from
No
the acorns.
He didn't have like a crazy acorn layer, but he did have some serious fat.
What are they feeding on over there, Trevor? What's the closest thing they're feeding on? You think?
Oh, all the neighbors feed him corn.
Yeah.
It probably is.
Gotcha.
Yeah. There's so many.
'Cause
There's
this-
so
this
many
little
crazy
private
left
piece-
wingers over
Yeah,
there that feed
yeah.
them, and the deer's just like one end of the ridge they feed them, and on the other end of the ridge they feed them, and they just come back and forth.
That's why
in
they
between.
live there.
And I keep
That's
telling
why they
these
live there.
people, I'm gonna shoot them on their way there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what they do. There is some other fields they'll ride down by the sand pit. So there's bigger fields and stuff, but for the most part, I mean, they're probably just undergrowth and stuff like that. And then there is 2 or 3 people within probably 1,000 yards either way of us, or maybe a little bit more on the roadside that they feed them and look at the deer and stuff like that.
Right.
So I mean, it is what it is.
So back to the story. I mean, got the buck down. We find out that's actually a buck with broken antlers. We thought it was a doe. And, you know, we run our gear down first. We retrieve our gear. We leave the buck down at its dead spot where it fell. And we bring our stuff back down to the truck. Actually, back down to the main clearing on the entranceway. You grab your truck. You come back. We grab the sled. You know, long story short, we get to the top, load up the deer in the deer sled. You shoot down because we hear a noise coming from...
Yeah, I thought it was like a tractor or something. I didn't even know what the heck it was.
Right, so you shoot down, and it's the landowner running his leaf blower. And I come down with the sled as you talk to him. He didn't even want to look at it. You know, you could tell they're not about the hunt, but they're about conservation. Word?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It was a tough property to get for the simple fact of is that they like the animals and stuff like that, and they like watching them and so on and so forth. She's never let anybody else hunt her.
Really?
And I just, you know, and I told her I was a bow hunter, and that's what ended up selling it to get me that property. It was exactly that, and it's just one thing. It's out of sight, out of mind. I just don't like them to see it. They don't like seeing it, so I just kind of just do my own thing, and I can do whatever I want and hunt there, and they don't bother.
Do whatever
but
you want. Damn.
Yeah, they just whatever.
How much money you give them?
None. No.
So we have a good episode coming up on Monday. Check us out. It's gonna be Taxidermy 101. With Chris Brockett, Trev Euros gets a man crush, and the ninja keeps slaying. So, I mean, tune in. We have the giveaway on IG. If you hear this episode tonight, get on IG for our giveaway coming up on Monday. We're going to announce it on IG Live. And then we have a special treat after that even. One of our listeners, our faithful listeners, is donating $100 towards another giveaway, and we'll be able to do that in a couple weeks because we have another special treat coming up the week after Taxidermy 101. So, I mean, it is Christmas.
There's a ton of stuff going on. Yeah, absolutely.
It is Christmas.
And for him, you know, he's going to give it away, and so he texted us, and he was like, Cadillac Cowboy.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, I want to sponsor a giveaway here, and I want to hear how you got into hunting and your first hunting story. And what we're going to do is we're going to, whoever has the best one, we'll have him. He's the one that's going to be able to decide on the stories. And once he does that, then we're gonna have a giveaway to give away to the person with the best startup or beginning hunting story.
And
but we'll get more into that, obviously, on our
detail.
Instagram and stuff like that, and tell you exactly what it is and where you can send it to and stuff. So that hasn't started yet, but we're gonna talk about that Monday or the Monday after. We'll have to talk to him and see when he wants to get that going.
Yo, I'm excited about December though. It's gonna be Christmas every week, man.
We have some serious people coming on the show. I mean,
I mean, we always have serious people aside from us three because we're a bunch of nobodies. And we're a bunch of clowns.
But we've had some really good guests already. Some really knowledgeable, awesome guests. We're having Mark and Gary and everybody else. But we have some good people coming.
Chris Brockett coming.
We got the crazy
East
Maryland.
Coast Slayer of the Month. No. That's too much. That's too much.
Sorry.
East Coast Slayer of the Month. We're going to start that up, and he's going to be our first one. First one to take the cake and... get the first East Coast Slayer of the Month.
I mean, we have our own little East Coast bow hunting Slayer, and that's Ethan. But
yeah,
because we call him the East Coast Slayer.
yeah.
But we're gonna start the East Coast Slayer of the Month.
Right.
So
I mean, Ethan will be back on the podcast. So.
Oh, absolutely. But he was one of them originally. But we have some more. Because we have.
He got his trophy. We give him deer camp. Shit.
That's right.
Shit.
And but we have we have Chris. Then we have. The East Coast Slayer, and then we have one after that.
It's gonna
be crazy.
Yeah,
just stay tuned, pay attention, and you'll get to know him.
Christmas in December is coming at you.
Excited.
So Monday's gonna be good. Again, tune into the IG giveaway. We got Taxidermy 101 on Monday with the IG giveaway, and then a giveaway after that with the East Coast Slayer of the Month, and then a giveaway after that. We might even get Ethan. Who knows?
Yeah, and not even that, but we Gary's giveaway, that's coming up too. So whatever we decided on that, we haven't come up with them rules.
It's Christmas, man.
So I guess just stay positive.
Stay positive. Actually, you know what? Let's end with that. Let's wrap it up with something positive. Trev, you first.
Just stay positive. Maybe not even a positive, but stay positive because with staying positive, like D-Rock, I was kind of like down in the dumps about hunting today, and D-Rock's like, you know what, Trev, just stay positive. It's about to happen. And sure as shit, that's what happened. So if I could say one thing, is stay positive and keep your head in the game no matter what it is. It's stressful. It's long, hard working hours, but it is what it is, and it all pays off in the end.
More time in the woods means more success rate on your harvest. So on that note, stay stepping
and stay slaying.